I'm making a video of John Buchanan, Australian.
Cheers.
Cheers. First JS3 flight.
A bloody good
today.
flight.
How was your
metre.
flight?
It is so simple. You know, it rolls like mad. And I was empty and I was doing 137 kilometres an hour. It wasn't even a brilliant day. I ended up averaging about 5 knots, but the glider is so easy.
You like it?
And beautiful. I've never flown anything as good. And I've flown ASW 22s and Nimbus 4s and 29 and all the gliders, and never come up against anything as incredible as this, an 18 metre.
We also we like it in 80 minutes. There's a big difference between 15 and 18 in our opinion. Also, even everybody flies it the first time says, just wow.
It's so easy, and it's going to carry the water. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to have full water, no doubt. It must be so easy. And I was in full negative flat today because I wanted to go faster.
I can tell you, most of the pilots flying the first time, when they're airborne and off tail, they ask, did we remember to fill up the outboard tanks? They always think the aircraft is not full because it carries the load very well. But you have to thermal a bit faster. We climb at about 115, 117 kilometers an hour when it's fully loaded, which is a bit fast and maybe a bit heavy, but for the good days, it's okay.
Yeah, I found that strange because some of the thermals today, I could fly at 50 knots. Okay, empty, but that must be wing loading of about 44.
I guess about 43 maybe with your weight. Yeah,
it was full fuel,
44,
full fuel. Yeah, and so sometimes at 50, but then sometimes I think the direct rotation of the thermal is different. So I was back to about 55, 56 knots or something, you know. There seemed to be two differences, but the roll rate is incredible, and I don't think the water's going to affect that roll rate much because...
That's not so much. It's wonderful.
No, and...
you don't so much recognize that there's water in the aircraft. It doesn't handle much differently. For some reason we don't know why.
But you're the engineer, you should know why.
I'm a structural guy.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to flying with you next week. You're in trouble.
Good. It's fine, a glider. It's
the glider gives you a lot of confidence.
It does, eh?
You know what? Because today I had my little nano there as well because I didn't know what instruments I'd have. And I'm looking at it, I'm down to 1,500 feet AGL, you know, and I'm thinking, this is a strange country, I've never been here before, and I'm about 150 kilometres away from Potch.
And yourself and
why the hell am I going down low? I shouldn't be doing this, but it just didn't worry me, you know.
So John, you were saying flying around in desert country with did you have some battery left in your cell phone though? If you outlanded to call us? Or?
I wasn't going to outland. I've been there, done that.
we've left some Aussies on a JS3 cross-country flight a number of years ago, and then all the batteries failed when he was away, and he had to use the sun, because when you looked for the compass there was no one installed, and he had to use the sun to navigate back to Potch. He was quite relieved finding us again.
Yeah, I can believe, because one of the batteries was flat after about 10 minutes today, and I only had one, and I thought, I'm running the LX, and I turned the CNAV off, so I only use the LX and the winter Vario.
No.
To do so well with just them, that's great.
Yeah, there's some pilots. I believe there's a rumor out there that they say the handling on the initial takeoff roll is a little bit on the aileron, and it's not as good as the JS1, that we know, because the JS1 is just never drops a wing. And you're feeling it's acceptable?
I've only done the one flight.
No.
I think it's a matter of sorting out which flap setting to use for the takeoff roll to get the effectiveness. I had it today. I'm not sure who was running my wing, but he dropped it, and it went down. It didn't hit the ground.
A little bit down, yeah.
And it took a little bit of time to come back. But I'm not sure whether I was in 3 or 2.
Okay.
I might have even been in 3, but you know, tomorrow I'll try 2.
Okay, good. And the handling and the thermalings?
The handling and the thermaling is just incredible. I was overrunning initially.
It feels all right, the lift, eh? It feels so beautifully. It feels the lift.
You don't need any more aileron. It rolls fantastically, you know. And the other thing is there's not much adverse yaw when you roll.
Yes.
That's the incredible thing. So you don't need all that much rudder.
Yeah.
If you do it properly, and I was pulling up and rolling in from about flap setting 2, and when I'd roll in with a flap setting 2 and get through about 90 degrees and a reasonable amount of bank and pulling into 3 and slowly into 4, it just rolls so quickly. And
no, we also love it.
And the other thing is it sits there. you know, when you get around through 180 degrees and you want to reef the damn elevator back to tighten up onto that turn to make sure you get back to where the thermal was, you know, it's not going to drop out or anything. It comes around.
No.
You get it around the corner with the elevator.
And you overdid it a bit, you can whack it into landing flap and then you can really work it around before it relaxes.
I noticed that, but the trick was I just tuck the finger in on that flap lever and just do it more subtly and slowly rather than being rough.
Yeah.
Because the the forces on the flap lever are just so light. So instead of thinking like with a conventional glider where you've got to pull on the flap, you don't. All you do is just go and position it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no force at all.
It's not a force thing. It's just take it to the right position.
Yeah. And so you can just position it almost with your fingertips.
Yeah.
Now, what I find sometimes is just having it out of the lock and in the thermal, you can actually just feel the accelerations of the lift as well. Not that it adds any value, but it's just interesting that you can really feel what the air is doing with the flap.
With the flap.
But just feel it. Just feel what the air is doing with
accelerations. Take it out of the
accelerations.
lock and you can feel the response, what happens.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play with that tomorrow.
No,
I got a week to
amazing.
play yet.
No, good. And the difference you think between the 15 and the 18?
It's chalk and cheese. It's just so different. I was totally surprised. It's a new glider.
It's completely two gliders in one.
Yeah, it is two gliders in one, and I think if you learnt to fly the 18 metre real well and you came back to the 15 metre, you would handle it a lot better.
Yeah.
I think with the 15 metre I was probably over controlling, but also we were in 40-degree days when I first flew it, and very tired. And
No, we also made a lot of mistakes in 15 metre in Benalla, flying it too heavy, and first time ever flying 15 metre. So it's a different thing to get used to. Coming from 18 metres, we're much more comfortable with the 18 metre configuration, but the 15, I think with a little bit of practice, there's a lot of performance available in it.
Exactly. I think you're going to have to do a bit of practice in the 15 metre, whereas the 18 metre, I think instantly. You know, tomorrow I'd be happy enough to go on a contest tomorrow with 18 metre because it's so easy. Okay, I think with 50 hours you'll improve, but maybe 100 hours for the 15 metre to get the really best out of it.
Yeah, and it's possible. Now we understand why the Goudeners kicked us out of 18 metre when they start flying the 18 metre ship, so now we're back in 15 metre in the world.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Well, there's a couple of good 15 metre gliders around, so yeah, when you go to Poland, you're going to have to make sure you've got enough hours in them. You've got enough hours in the damn thing now anyway, but...
Only in Benalla, it's the last time I flew 15 metre.
Yeah, but how many hours you got in 15 metre?
I don't know, did we fly 4 days in Benalla? I don't know, maybe 6.
Oh, okay. Well, let's forget Benalla. But you have to realise in Poland too, there's going to be some weak weather and some quite humid conditions, so you're going to have to finesse the 15 metre a little bit more.
Yeah, the problem is in Benalla, we never bothered to fly below, I think, about a 56 wing loading. Only on the day we outlanded, we were working in 0.0 and 0.1 and things. Then when we dried out, but we were carrying our load with pride.
The blue thermals in Victoria and South Australia that you had, they are normally always very, very narrow. And even with a 29, you only go half wing loading. Yeah. Because you cannot turn in them, you cannot climb in them, because the thermals are too narrow, and you'd be continually trying to manoeuvre and everything. If I had a JS3 15 in Benalla for those competitions, I probably would have been wing loading back around 48-50.
John, that's a little bit too late telling us that.
Well,
you could have done that with that information last year.
Wrong team. Well, I would have told you had I been there.
No, it's good. Now we're looking forward to fly with you. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to customers come in and try the things out. So good luck.
Yeah,
I hope it will be a lot of fun this week.
It's given me so much confidence now to come here and do that. By the end of this week, I'm going to be really balling over, and ready for the Chibram.
Yeah, no, good. Excellent. Nice. We chat again. Thanks.